want to crit it and hit it. This is a Dungeons & Dragons live stream game played by a bunch of nerds. We will have Bard's Tale, which is a story that one of our lovely players will be recounting. In this case, it will be Kerry. And it's a short story told from the perspective of her character. So this can be a story of something she's done and it's wildly exaggerated, or as part of her character, it could be very accurate. This can be just a random story that she's heard from another bard, so it's got nothing connected to the events in the game. It's just a story that her character would be telling to other people. And it could also be just that character recounting events from a previous session, just in their own words. So that's just something to help us all get into character and ease us into the game. And then we're going to start the game proper.
Exciting. Yeah. I'm so nervous.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna lie.
It's quite alright. Just ignore everyone else.
There's no one here watching this time.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here alone as well.
Yeah.
In an empty room. So
I am actually in the house alone right now. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, should I? YouTube, if anybody knows where I live. This is also where I live. Yeah. Not in my own house right now.
So, the next item on our itinerary before we get to the Bard's Tale is an introduction to the game. So this is set in the world of the Taihun. This is a homebrew setting. This is a world of my own devising, and something that's been in the works for a little over a decade now. This has been reworked, been visited a few times. Currently, there is another group of adventurers playing in the same world that have impacted events that we'll be interacting with. To that end, we are going to start in the town of Sommergleam. Now, Sommergleam is a human settlement. It is of a rather Nordic design, lots of wood and stone buildings. These buildings are very single purpose, so you have homes separate from businesses. The town of Sommergleam is run by a queen, Queen Catherine. She doesn't interact much with her subjects, she tends to keep to herself, and the humans and halflings that inhabit this village, this town, it's getting smaller all the time. The people living here, they have very simple lives. They farm, they fish, and all the ills of the world outside doesn't really matter a lot to them. However, a few months ago, a seat of power was uncovered, a very powerful artifact in an ancient citadel far to the north. When this was uncovered, alarm bells went off with everyone in the area. The nearby elves, led by the House Edel, they've started mobilizing forces. They want to move and capture this. The humans have also decided that we want a piece of this pie. If this is a very powerful artifact that we could use to gain power in the region, we'll use it. So let's go and take control of it before those elves get their mitts on it. No one's heard much from the dwarves. In this town of Sommergleam, there are occasional tieflings and dragonborn wandering about. They don't really care much about what you look like, more just who you are allied and affiliated with. That is what most people care about in this world. Each of your characters have made their way to Sommergleam of late, for various reasons. And those reasons will be made abundantly clear when we get to character introductions after the Bard's Tale. Take it away, Kerry.
Wow. So, about 3 years ago, not long after I left the church, I was following the prophecy, helping people along the way, when I started to hear about rumours of in a village where travellers were going missing. They were being murdered in the night, so it sounded like some nasty evil to me. Of course, I went to investigate. When I got there, I learned that it was the local tavern where the murders were happening. So I took a room on the very first night, my sleep was interrupted by the most terrible scream. Grabbed my sword and my shield, and I went running to the source. I found a man cowering beneath a ghastly spectre, ready to pull the life force right out of him. Well, I did the only right thing to do. I put away my sword, held up my hands, and I spoke to it. I reasoned with her that she was just a lost soul, searching for the thing to help her move on, and that hurting travellers was not the way. She straightened up, looked me right in the eye, and said, "You know what, you're right. I want to be reunited with my family." And so, after a lovely, respectful chat, I agreed with her that I would move her bones that were buried underneath the tavern into her family plot so she could be with them and move on and leave the poor people of that tavern alone. I'm telling you, everyone can find redemption. You just need to talk to them about it. So.
Oh, good. I like it. It was very good.
Your character's very different from mine.
Yeah.
Put away your sword and reasoned with it.
Yeah.
I know.
Kerry, is there anything that we need to know about the way Amy looks, the way she carries herself as you walk into the tavern? The stereotypical meeting place of all adventurers.
Yep.
This will be the Tavern of the Rising Sun.
Okay. Well, she is sort of average height, human. She's got like curled, blonde, almost gold hair that's sort of just above her shoulders. She wears armor, but it's quite like feminine rather than in like big paladin armor. But you can tell that she's a paladin. She has a shield that is sort of in the shape of a wing, and a sword, but that's sheathed and the shield's on her back. And she was strolling, massive smile on her face, just happy to be there, basically. Yeah.
Awesome. When you enter this tavern, which is a building entirely made of wood, you see a wiry gentleman behind the bar. He's wearing a cap that's slightly off to one side, and he is very hastily polishing the top of the bar. Everything seems to be tidy and neat. As soon as someone finishes a glass, it is immediately whisked away by one of the two other members of bar staff. Inside, it's relatively quiet, with a few exceptions. Sat somewhere in the bar is a young gentleman called Scepter. Would you mind describing what Scepter looks like? A bit about Scepter.
Yes, so I'm playing Airden Scepter. Scepter is his second name. He's a magnificent sight. Even for elves, he's quite beautiful. A tall, slender man, long flowing silver hair, very pale, piercing eyes, and he seems to carry himself just as elves do. They're just kind of better than everyone else, you know. They live longer, and they're kind of better at everything. And yeah, he's just quite content to kind of look around and just survey people as they come in and kind of judge them and appraise them, and just maybe think about how he would defeat them if it came to that. Maybe how he would, if they have anything that he wants, and how he would get it from them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Scanning her eyes across the bar, Amy sees more people. There is someone sat at the bar. A person by the name of Anakis. What does Anakis
That would
look like?
So she has bright green hair and is dressed with a cloak, holding a staff that's sort of leant against the bar, wooden staff leant against the bar. She's quite intuitive. She's looking around the bar. She's just sort of perusing to see who's there. She is a friendly soul. She's a very friendly soul, and is always intrigued by new people. Is always wanting to find out anything she can. And yeah, she has a squirrel named Nutkin sat on her shoulder, just sort of nibbling on a nut. And yeah, that's Anakis.
Which is attracting the attentions of a drunkard who is sat relatively close and just staring at the squirrel in near disbelief.
I move the squirrel to the other shoulder. Not getting his hand on Nutkin. Sort of turn to him and ask him if he's okay.
And as Amy settles her eyes back on the barkeeper, she notices sat in a corner is Eden.
Right. So Eden is another kind of typical haughty, beautiful, too good for everybody else. She generally wears a lot of black
as elves do, you know. They live longer.
Usually covering most of her face. She has kind of long, kind of light brownish hair, like really bright blue eyes, and she has a familiar, Enver, who is a little like black and purple sprite with her.
What does the sprite look like?
I could almost kind of woodsy in nature, if that makes sense. So not kind of fiery, but more leafy, but how do you say, like demonic leafy?
Oh, okay.
I should really get a picture for next time.
No, I have a good picture in my head. I don't know if it's accurate, but I've got something in my head now.
Yeah. It's a small kind of tree, leafy, but kind of dark, kind of blacks and blues and purples. Demonic forest.
I think that's very in just now. Demonic forest.
Demonic forest, very in.
It's so hot right now.
All the way.
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. We may have a problem on Twitch.
Oh. What's the problem on Twitch?
I don't know. Mine's just saying the Twitch machine got unplugged. I don't know what that means.
Ah, yes, I had that problem. I simply pressed the play button again.
That might work. I'll see if it does anything. Oh, there we go. We're back. Fine.
Cool.
It's alright.
Don't know what happens, but hey. Yes. As far as I can see, we're still streaming.
Yeah.
So, we have the characters. You are in the tavern. Amy, what do? You see these weird people in a bar.
Alright. I walk straight over to the bar, to where the barman is. And I'll sit down with the biggest smile and say, what time of day is it? I don't... Okay, what time of day is it?
This will be about 11 o'clock.
At night or morning?
Morning.
Alright, okay. I'll say, good morning. How are you?
Oh.
I hear a groan from the distant table.
And this was to the barman, yeah?
Yeah.
He's still
I'm very well,
furiously...
thank you. How are you?
My apologies. I thought I was being addressed. Yes, if you two are friends, that's fine. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, how are both of you? We could all be friends.
That would be good.
I turn round and face the wall in the corner.
So I turn then to the Tiefling next to me. My name's Amy. What's your name?
Oh, hi, Amy. I'm Anakis. I'm not from round here. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Where are you from? Summer Gleam? Is that where we are right now? I think that's where we are.
That's where we are.
We're in the town of Summergleam. It's quite a small town to the south. Do you know roughly the area?
Not really, no.
Travellers? Ah, yes. I apologise for interrupting there, but Amy, did you say your name was?
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, yes. Might I welcome the two of you to Summergleam. This is the Rising Sun. This is my tavern. I am Ogbert, and yes, you are free to peruse the wares on the back shelf there. You have a look, and you see that there are 3 bottles, all of which are caked in dust.
Ooh.
Looks like not a lot of people take things from the back shelf here. And if you do need any help getting around the place or finding out what is local, you can always ask one of the neighborhood captains or myself. I know a few things about the local area, although I've grown up here. I haven't traveled an awful lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Might I offer you a sherry?
Just a soft drink for me, please.
Soft. I can
Water
get you
or something. Yes. Water's great. Thank you.
Yes.
Have you got any crushed cranberries?
I'm afraid I don't know what those are. No.
Oh, crushed. How about oranges?
Ooh.
Any forest fruits?
There were some oranges being sold in the market not too long ago. They came in on a shipment. We have apples.
Oh, that'll do.
Yes.
I'll have an
I will
apple,
go and fetch
please.
some apples and some water.
Thank you.
And he sort of toddles off through a doorway and disappears for a moment.
Oh, so wholesome. It's lovely.
Can I lean in and kind of look carefully at the squirrel and ask, what's his name?
Oh, this little fellow. This is Nutkin.
Hi, Nutkin.
He's very friendly. He might come and sit on your shoulder if you just tap your shoulder.
I tap my shoulder.
It scurries across the back of me, down my arm, and up onto your shoulder.
I just sit there like, I don't even know. So happy. Yeah.
It's a squirrel.
Ah.
If you give him a nut, there's some nuts on the bar that I've already got. If you give him a nut, he might do a little stand on 2 legs trick for you.
I do that.
He pretends to ask for more, like this.
Oh my god. This is so
We need to murder something real quick. Real quick.
As Ogbert returns from the back room, he is there carrying an armful of apples and a small clay cup with water, and he puts the cup carefully down and spreads the apples out. Just as he does so, the door slams open. A figure staggers in and collapses down onto the ground.
I run over
Yeah.
and check for life.
Alright. Are Eden or Airden reacting at all
I'm
to
gonna pay
this?
attention.
yes. Sorry. No. I think I kind of get up. I don't actually go across, but I'm now interested. There's something that is worth my attention.
What does the collapsed being look like?
So, approaching, you see that it looks like a human. It's a male, possibly in his early 40s, that sort of age. He's got a receding hairline, it's very thin, and he's wearing what looks to be priest's robes.
Priest's robes? We must save this man!
Kerry's intrigued. Amy's intrigued. I can cast... Oh, wait, do I what? Are we going to cast the first spell?
Well, can we tell why he's passed out?
Yeah, what injuries has he got? Can we tell?
Or is he just drunk or something?
Can I move forward and kind of
Yeah.
push past them, flip him over, and check to see if I know how he was injured?
One of you is going to get to investigate his wounds first.
We all
So
want to
I
roll.
would like you all to roll for initiative.
Already?
Roll.
No,
Yes.
probably not me.
17.
17.
8.
21.
Oh.
What was that, Kerry?
8. I'm so
8.
slow.
21.
Ah, I thought you said 1.
Laura, would you mind rolling initiative as well? If that's alright? Just so that you can get involved if it...
6.
Oh.
Yay!
Not bothered.
So, Airden Scepter is the one that's able to react the fastest, and so is able to get to the body and flip it over. You're now going to check this body out. It'll take about a minute for you to perform a medicine skill check, and that will give you the information that you need about how Grievous's wounds are and what it looks like is happening.
Medicine. Oh yes, medicine. Right, sorry. That's a 16.
It's a 16. You have a look over the priest, or at least the man dressed like a priest, and you find that he does have a massive graze against the side of his face, like he's scoured it against something.
Ooh.
There are tiny flecks of something reflecting in it, but it's very difficult to see. You'd need to get it out and have a close look at it, maybe even with an eyeglass. It's very, very small, very sharp. It's like broken glass. He does have signs of intoxication. He's got a very flushed face, but with his extremities turning quite pale, you know that he's not just drunk, he's injured. And he's unconscious at the moment. You've not managed to determine any other external wounds.
Okay, I kind of sigh reluctantly and turn to the rest of the group and ask, can any of you heal? Are any of you able to help this man?
I can cure his wounds, if you would like.
Please, be my guest.
I can do that. That will be 9. 9 points.
9.
9.
So he's healed 9 hit points. As you cast your healing spell, putting your hands on him, and a brilliant bluish white light flashing in your palms, he coughs, splutters, and his eyes struggle to open up. You notice since you flipped him over that he's a bit rotund. He struggles to get up, and then slams back down on the floor.
Can I crawl up to him and kneel behind him and pull him so his head's rested on my lap?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's okay, just rest, it's fine.
I shake my head at both of you, just disappointed. I don't know why I asked for help.
Hey, this is helping.
Yeah.
As he's laying with his head rested on your lap. No, if you put it in there, it won't work. It won't work. Make her get back.
Look, I think this man is drunk.
Yeah. I think he might be. Should we give him a bit of a slap on the cheek?
No, he's got a hurt cheek. I stop you from slapping his cheek.
The other one. The other cheek.
Does he have any religious symbols on him? Is he of any particular?
You do see that he's got a wooden carved necklace, and inside this necklace is this intricate metal inlay, which suggests that despite the amulet being of a general poor make, that he's spent some money on making it look a bit more pretty. The symbolism itself, however, I will require a religion skill check to identify it, because it doesn't match anything that you guys have.
I'll do that.
While they're doing that, can I go to the bar and get a large glass of water and bring it over?
Ooh, good idea.
Painfully.
As you approach Ogbert, he's just stood dumbfounded at everything that's going on in front of him. Yes, absolutely. One moment. And he
Thank you.
toddles off to go and get the water. and then he brings it back quite promptly.
Right, yeah, I'll take it over. Like a.
Are you handing it to?
I'm gonna give it
priest?
to Anakis. I'm gonna give it to Anakis.
Sorry, what were you giving? I was just reading the comments. Sorry.
A glass of.
You had a vision.
I did.
A glass of water for the drunk man.
For the drunk man. Because Amy's got his head up, I try to open his mouth ever so slightly and give him the water.
He splutters a little, but it does wake him up more. Who are you?
Who are you?
I think you asked me first.
I stroke his hair. Shh. It's okay.
No. Where am I?
Okay, I've had enough of this. I grab him by his collar and kind of lift him up towards me and say, "Listen, you fool, tell me, who are you? What has happened to you? I don't have patience for this."
You've got dead eyes, mate.
Well, so will you soon if you don't answer my questions.
Yep. I am Simon, and I... Where are we?
We're in Summerglee. We're in a tavern.
The Rising Sun Tavern.
Yes.
Ah. I know this place. I come here a few times.
Maybe a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's an accusation. And I'll... Who are you?
I am the man asking the questions. You are the man who answers.
Oh, I wondered who I was.
Now, what
ask
has
your
happened
questions.
to you?
What happened to me? What happened to me?
Apart from, being a drunk.
Can I take the rest of the glass of water back from Anakis and pass it to Airden and say, throw it on his face?
I'll take it, yeah, happily. But I say, I will do this, but not because you told me to. And I throw it on him.
Oh. Is that really necessary?
Apparently, yes.
Oh. I am knackered. Oh. Where is the elf?
Which elf?
The elf I was with.
You're gonna need to be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Do we all look the same to you?
Oh, about yay high. It indicates about 5 feet, maybe a couple of inches. Yay high. Likes to dress fancy. Goes by the name of Merka. Merka Edel.
Do we know this name? Have we ever heard it before?
We haven't.
Yeah, but I can't. I'm asking
Anyone
Drew.
can make a history skill check, and I'll allow each of you to make this check if you want to find out what you know.
Also, Drew, my religion check was 7. If you want to give me anything for that.
Your religion check reveals that the symbol is not of the primal forces, although the exact belief is unclear.
Okay.
I got 16. I'm rolling good today.
16
So
with
far.
history check.
12 history.
I rolled a 18.
9.
9.
I'm
Next goes then.
embarrassing.
Laura, Eden knows that this is a name very close to you. You know this person intimately, but a lot of their more famous deeds eludes you. So you know the name, you know that it's someone important. Everyone else, you've heard tales of Mirka Edel, maybe from a bard, but most likely from random drunk townspeople raving about him. Mirka Edel is the person who is in charge of the nearby elven city, that of Tharan Sari. It's to the west. It's quite a distance away, a few days' travel, but Tharan Sari does not have good relations with Sommergleam. Sommergleam does not keep any good international relations for the most part. Those elves often come in and swoop in for like major trade caravans. They sometimes loot the outer farmlands, or at least it's claimed that they loot them. So a lot of people complain and moan about Mirka Edel and all of his policies. Abby, you specifically remember that Mirka Edel was involved with a small troop heading north. They were going to find some ancient citadel, which was lost but was recently found. But that was months ago, and you've heard nothing since.
Okay. Towards the citadel.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I relay that to the group. I relay all that information to everybody else.
Sharing's caring.
Yeah, sorry, I was just writing down.
It's alright.
I don't know. I kind of want to ask more of him, but I don't think I'm getting anywhere.
When did you last see him? I don't know. When did you last see him?
Right now, he's in front of me. He's. I mean, you can tell him to let go, and then I can see him later.
What?
Huh?
I don't know his name.
Oh
God!
I drop him. I was holding him. I just let go. I've given up. I'll maybe can I whisper to the three of you and just say, "Can someone play good cop?" And I'll just do the good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
I'll make him eat some apples. I'll head to the bar and go get some apples.
How do you like them apples?
I make him eat the apples.
I will sort of lean over him and in a very soothing voice say, we need to know when you last saw, how do you pronounce it? Mirka?
Yeah.
Are you able to tell us when you last saw him?
In the background, I'm just running a kind of stone over my rapier, just sharpening it, just staring straight at Simon.
Yeah, that was the guy I was with. We got separated, I think. No. We were running through fields, dead fields. All the grass has died.
Do we know about this?
You've not heard anything about grass dying, and from your recent journeys to Sommergleam, you saw green grass.
In the same soothing voice. And where is the dead grass?
Near the citadel. That's where we were going.
Why are you going to the citadel? Why were you going there?
I remember. And he grabs the apple and takes a bite. I do remember. I sent people there. I found some stuff down there, and I sent people to go and look for it, and they didn't come back.
Ooh.
And then I went there because they were supposed to bring back some treasure and we were going to split it. But they didn't come back. And I met him there. Everything was all messed up and twisted. I don't think they're alive anymore.
Anyone at the Citadel?
Place was all ripped up. Like something had just tore the roof right off it.
Ooh.
I met this Merca bloke. Apparently he's a big shot. And then there was things chasing us. They had these big heads. And they moved weird.
Okay. And then... Do you remember how long ago this was?
What day is it today? You guys will know as characters that it is a Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll tell him that.
Then I don't know. I don't know what day I was there.
How many...
Sorry.
How long ago was it?
How many sleeps? Hours? I don't know.
Minutes. Come on, man.
I think I need to sober up a bit more.
Have another apple.
And he stumbles towards the bar, leans mostly on it, and starts just eating an apple, rolling it along the bar towards him to take bites. Ogbert is just staring at him.
Delivering food, shouldn't we have like some potatoes or something?
Yeah, something with a bit more sustenance.
Ogbert goes back to the kitchen and comes out with a small bowl of stew. He's eating, and as he's doing so, you get a couple of people come into the tavern. They see Simon sat at the bar, and they sit at the corner looking at him, whispering to each other. The two of them seem to be dressed in heavy leather clothing, something that's a bit bulky, maybe a bit too warm for the season.
Do they look like they're here to cause trouble?
You could give me an insight check and see what you gather from their body language.
18. Okay, here we go. This was the winner. All the other ones are banished.
Okay. Looking at them up and down, you know that they're not good people, but that they're not here to start trouble.
Human?
But you can tell that trouble's on their mind.
And they were interested in Simon, or are they just because he's so drunk at the bar? That's why they're looking at him.
That's something that Laura will be able to determine. They are interested in Simon.
I see.
Are they humans? Elves?
One of them is a halfling. One of them is a human.
And what? They just sat. Sorry, what are they? They sat.
They've just come in, sat at the bar. They've not spoken to anyone except for each other, and they're staring at Simon.
Okay. I will go over.
Oh no!
And say, yeah, I'll say, hello, my name's Amy. What's your name? Stick my hand out at them to shake.
I facepalm in the game.
Give me a charisma ability check. I'm thinking
charisma.
Diplomacy or persuasion or something of the sort.
Which one do you want? Oh, persuasion. It's the same. It's
Yeah.
the same. Plus. Oh, I rolled so badly. 6.
Oh.
As you thrust your hand out at them, they look you up and down. And as one of them seems to sort of roll their eyebrows and get ready to shake your hand, the other one collapses down off his stool, knocking him into you. Then he pushes you away.
Oh.
Bit forward, ain't you?
Well, shaking hands is just Customary greeting from, I don't know, my town. Maybe it's not here. What's your customary greeting?
To not get in the way of other people. That's mine.
Can I step forward and kind of, I don't know, can I say to them, would you like to see my customary greeting?
Stab him.
Are you making any secret of your intent to maybe clobber them over the head?
I think I have my hand on my sword.
Okay. We're not necessarily looking for trouble. We're just here to talk to a mate, that's all.
Good. Well, okay. Just checking, just introducing myself.
After overhearing, I wander over and ask, what's the name of the mate?
They lean in close to each other and start whispering. Do you want to give me a perception check, please, Abby?
Oh no. Oh no, that's okay. That is okay.
Do squirrels have really good hearing? This might come in useful.
13.
I'll say that Danny could also make a roll for it as well, since he's close by.
What was it? Sorry, perception?
Perception, yeah. So it's a wisdom-based ability check.
16.
Oh, 9.
16, 9. Abby, you'll be able to pick up the odd word here and there. But you hear crystal shard. You hear hard work. And peace for ourselves and the word patience. Then he turns back to all of you. I don't think we quite got his name last time, but we'll know him when we see him.
Is it this guy? I point to Simon.
He looks Simon up and down, then pushes away from the bar. The two of them getting down off their stools. I think we'll go for a little walk, get some fresh air.
Ah, where are we going? I stand up and start to walk with them.
Oh, brilliant.
Just the two of us.
Oh, okay. I like walks though. I've not been here before, maybe you could show me around.
They turn and whisper to each other again. Right, Kerry, Abby, Daniel, if you want to, you can make another perception check to see if you can pick up on the whispers.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely trying to hear what they're saying.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
17.
4.
12.
Alright. Danny, you overhear money, alley, out.
Ooh. Okay.
You know what, love? Yeah. We can all go out for a walk together, just the three of us. We'll go out for a walk, get some nice fresh air. That'll be lovely company, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's fine, so unless someone else says something out loud.
So I'm gonna come over and put my hand on Amy's shoulder. Do you mind if I join you guys? Incredibly fun. Really friendly.
Quickly stare at each other, exchange a glance. Yeah, alright.
I say, I'm leaving to go on a different walk anyway, so
Me too.
I won't be able
I need
to
to
come.
go walk, not King. Not King needs the walk.
So can I leave and just go outside and I'm pretending I'm going on a different walk?
I will
They'll
join.
wait inside the tavern until you leave.
That's fine. I'll just go wait outside and wait for them to... I think my plan is to kind of follow them. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm coming too. But I'll just kind of follow from a distance and see what happens.
Do we tie the drunk man to, like, the bar stool or something so that he can't wander off?
That's probably not a good idea. I'll ask the bartender to look after him while we're gone.
Yes, absolutely. I'll get some damp cloths and... I think that works. I've never had to look after them when they're like this before. They usually stumble out at this point.
Well,
Can I leave my sprite here? Can I leave Enver? And then if this guy tries to leave, then Enver can come and get me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You'll get some squeaks of protestation. The sort of like high-pitched sound of like twigs scraping against each other. But you're able to understand.
But not now. Not today. Had enough of this?
It tucks a couple of twiggy arms sort of into a tangle of vines that makes up its torso as if it's putting its hands in its pockets, and it kicks an apple core.
Oh, brilliant.
A good little pie. Be good. Be good. No biting. No biting. I'm ready.
Abby, what's...
I'm heading with Eden and Amy. I think I'm going to follow on and pretend that Lucky needs some fresh air.
Alright.
can I, so the one that's been like the rudest to us, can I attempt to link arms with him as we go to walk out?
Yes, you can. Let's see. Give me another persuasion skill check.
Come on, mother 4. Worse than 4. 4 total. So I got 2.
As you link arms, he gives you this dirty look. He doesn't remove your arm or anything.
Okay.
But after he gives you the dirty look, he then turns his head to his mate, and they both just walk out the door. Still linked arms with you.
Okay, well, I feel slightly uncomfortable now, so I'd remove my arm, but walk like in pace with it.
Alright. So, getting outside of the tavern, Daniel, I would like you to give me a... I was about to say dexterity-based stealth check. Stealth is already dexterity-based. So, yeah, give me a stealth check.
Oh dear. 7.
7 for your stealth check. It is crowded, it is busy, it is difficult for them to see an individual person in this crowd. Stepping outside, you get hit with the smell of not as fresh as you would probably like fish, but lots of freshly baked breads. There's a lot of industry going on here. You see lots of chimney stacks with smoke billowing out, and there are people wandering back and forth in all states of dress. You'll notice that a lot of the streets are covered in muck. Horses and donkeys frequent these paths, and it is not cleaned up. You're able to disappear into a small crowd to the side, and as these two guys emerge from the Tavern of the Rising Sun, they look around, they look vaguely in your direction, but they don't seem to notice you.
Awesome. Okay.
They then turn and look directly ahead and walk, along with Amy, Eden, and Anakis. They're heading towards a street that's a little narrower than this main thoroughfare. This narrow street taking place between a few homes and another building that seems to be a store of some sort. Any particular actions that people wanted to take, or are they walking down this narrow street with two strangers?
I'll ask him, so where are we going?
We know this great place. It's a little quieter than the Rising Sun. It's a good place. We've got some friends there.
Place for what?
This doesn't sound good.
Bit of drinking, bit of sport.
Spot? What kind of spot?
Darts, mostly.
Huh. Not a darts person, really.
Maybe it's not a good idea then.
You can suit yourself, that's where we're going.
Can I don't know how close I can follow without them noticing that I'm following. But I take it I can't hear any of this.
You'll find it very difficult over the drone of people. If you want to make a perception check, it'll be at disadvantage.
No, that's fine. I think I'll just follow and just see where they go. But yeah, it's fair enough.
Can I try and see if they're lying?
Sure. Give me an insight check. So that'll be wisdom plus your proficiency if you've got proficiency in insight.
Woo. 21.
21. They definitely have designs on the three of you. They think that you three are in the way somehow. So you've stopped them doing what they wanted to do, and they feel really put out. And you can tell that they're trying to make the best of the situation by taking you somewhere dangerous, and they're likely to try and rob you.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. I hope. Right. Okay. Can I okay, right. So Amy and the two guys are like ahead, and me and Anakis are behind them?
Yeah. But close enough that you're able to hear them. So I'd say no more than 10 feet away.
Right. So can I whisper to Anakis they're lying. This is not.
Yeah, you'll be able to whisper easily enough.
That's not gonna hear us. How far in front is she?
Amy, she'll be between 5 and 10 feet. It'll be difficult for you to whisper to her without them hearing, unless you go up right next to her. Which they're not stopping you from doing.
No. I would like. I'm just going to shout, Amy. I think we're needed elsewhere.
Let's stop.
Yeah, there's a thing.
Something happening. I can hear it.
The other way.
Okay.
I go grab her and bring her in this direction. Come on, let's go see.
Okay. I start to walk away from them. What do they? They do anything?
They stop, talk to each other while looking in your direction, but they don't seem to follow.
We go, okay, bye.
Yeah, I wave.
The halfling raises a hand, waves you, and the two of them turn and continue on down the street that they were going to walk you guys down.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Can I? Is there any townspeople about?
Yes, the street is flooded with people.
Are there any people that vaguely look like they have maybe coloured skin and horns?
Are you just standing in the one spot and just having a quick scan around?
Yeah, I'm just going to have a scan.
Okay. What's your passive perception score?
It is 13.
Okay. You can make a roll if you want to. Or do you want to keep the passive score?
Keep it. I'll keep the passive one.
Okay. Having a look around, you see that there is one person standing outside of a market vendor's stall. They've got very scaly skin. They appear to be a dragonborn. They're rare to see, but they happen sometimes. But you don't see any of the Tieflings.
How far away is this dragonborn?
About 60 feet away.
I might dash over to him, if that's okay.
Sure.
I want to go and ask him if he has seen any other tieflings in the area recently.
You see him there with brown apron. He's there putting slabs of raw meat on the front of his market stall. More like you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A while ago.
How long ago?
I'd say 2 months.
How many of them?
It was just the one. They were travelling in a group, though. They were going to that, some castle or something to the north. Someone found something.
Okay, what was the castle called? Can you remember?
Been a while.
Okay.
I think it was Uril or something like that. Uril, Turil. One of them things. It's inconsequential, really. Doesn't change the price of meat.
Oh, okay. Do you know any of their names?
Nah, they didn't buy any meat.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I head back to Amy and Eden.
Sorry.
Amy, about not following men down alleyways by yourself.
I was by myself. You were here.
Okay. Yeah, but you're lucky.
Can I catch up with everyone by now?
Yes. As soon as those guys went off down the alleyway, I assume you would have started making moves to get closer to them.
Okay. I love following men down alleyways. Often ends in them trying to do something, and then it's a good day. So what happened? Why have they left? What were they trying to do?
We were going on a walk. We were going to some place to play darts, and then I got told to stop, so we stopped. I mean, we probably should have followed them. They seemed like they probably knew what was going on with Simon, so it might have. They maybe were going somewhere that would have more information.
Yeah, he was probably going to rob us at best. Murder maybe at worst.
A very broad spectrum.
I don't want to break that to you, but
I roll my shoulders at this point, and still with the biggest smile, say, "I could have taken them."
yeah, of course you could have. Of course you could have.
Yeah, definitely.
Crashing out of the Tavern of the Rising Sun is Simon, followed by Ogbert. No, so you really must come and sit down. You're not quite well. Oh, leave me alone. I need to get back to the thingy. And he staggers through the streets with Ogbert occasionally trying to grab his arm and pull him back. But it seems that this Simon fella, even drunk, is stronger than he looks.
Maybe we should follow that guy. Does that count as going with a guy somewhere? I mean,
I suppose we could. It would be a good idea.
But we're with you, so if that's we're also strangers. But
strangers, friends, same thing.
We don't know each other.
I don't plan to kill any of you, at least just now. So this seems like a good, I suppose we could. Well, I suppose if we all work together, maybe this could lead somewhere profitable, maybe.
So we're not murdering each other.
No.
I think Amy needs some help in what not to do and follow strange-looking men. I think she needs guidance in that area of maybe. I think she may need some help.
I mean, I'm right here, guys. Smiling again.
Right.
I say we go follow.
Yeah.
Simon.
All right. Simon is just sort of pushing his way through the crowd. When Ogbert sees you guys, he then stops hangs back until you guys catch up. I'm terribly sorry. He just started ranting and raving about needing to get back to a citadel.
Is my sprite back?
Your sprite is clinging to the back of Ogbert and slams a hand on top of his shoulder and pulls himself up into view.
As long as he's saying, okay, I'm just gonna pick him up. My pocket. Okay.
I'm not a fan of your familiar. I'm just watching him.
That's a shame.
I like him.
Not a fan of you either.
I think he's cute.
And thus the fellowship was ended because someone didn't like a sprite.
My sprite.
Maybe that's my character arc. Maybe I eventually warm into it and we kind of bond.
And you and Enver become best friends forever. I'm already his best friend, so you could be like an acquaintance, maybe.
I could kill you and take over as his best friend.
You could try to kill me. If you understand. No, Enver and Metkin. There, I ship them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that could be a weird combination.
Yeah.
No.
I was supposed to say that could be good fan art, but that would be weird fan art.
Yes, it would.
Let's not go there.
Not draw that.
I follow the
No.
drunk man. I break away and follow the drunk man.
So, following Simon, he eventually gets to a wall. At this wall, there is a stables set up to the side, and there's a gatehouse to his right. At this wall, he's then just knocking on various bits of it. You notice that the town walls are rarely patrolled, but you do see the occasional guardsman wandering about there. They're always carrying a spear, usually wearing armor, but not always. On this occasion, there are no guards wandering around the top wall, but there is someone manning the gatehouse. They're looking at Simon, but not taking much of their attention away from people coming back and forth through the gate.
I don't know how I'd tell, but is there any way to tell if this attention that Simon's getting, like from the guards and from the two men in the tavern, does it seem that, like, you know, they're paying attention to him because he's like and he's making a bit of a scene of himself, or is it some other reason?
Or do they recognise him for, like is he a troublemaker type of character?
I'll allow an insight check to see what you can glean from his body language.
15.
You can tell that he's not paying a lot of attention to Simon, just more that he's aware of him and is sort of noted and occasionally darting his eyes back up. He doesn't seem to be feeling any strong emotions towards him. Like he's not thinking, oh, this guy again, and he's not thinking, I can't wait till all these people are gone so I can punch him in the face.
Right. Okay.
So it seems that with the case of this one guy, he's just aware of a drunk person up against a wall.
Okay.
And Simon's knocking at the wall.
Yeah, he's knocking in various points of the wall.
I'm just going to watch Simon and see what happens.
Eventually, he hits a hollow, and he goes, ah! And he turns around to take a bow at a crowd that is there, but he's not actually aware that you guys have been following him. So he just sort of like half turns, bows to no one in particular, then turns back, and pulls at one of the planks of wood making up this part of the wall, and rips it up. And you see that there is a hole behind, and he keeps pulling away at various planks. You note that these planks of wood are relatively new. And it reveals a secret tunnel.
Ooh, okay. Does Simon go down the tunnel?
He's looking side to side, and then ducks his head under, starts walking through this tunnel.
Okay, so it's like a big tunnel, because Simon's a larger man.
He's a larger man, yes. It's wide enough to fit him down. It's about 3 feet wide, and 5 feet tall.
So single file.
Yeah.
I am not going in next.
I'll go first.
You go first.
What do you mean? What did we just finish talking about?
This guy's my friend now. This guy's been friendlier than the other one.
This is going to be an example of what not to do. So you follow a strange man down a secret tunnel, and we'll just see what happens.
I presume you're all coming with me, which is the thing that you said it was okay to do if you're all coming with me. So I go down the tunnel.
Well, that's true. I'll follow.
I feel like we need to follow her.
I'm stabbing McGee in next.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got some sort of responsibility to make sure that people don't watch this stream and then think it's okay to follow people down dark alleyways. So I feel almost obliged to make something bad happen now.
The opposite. I put that out there.
Well,
Put that out there. Don't be annoying. Don't follow people down alleys.
if we followed the first group of people, that wouldn't have ended well.
No, we would have
Very
been dead
true.
by now.
You've just got to choose carefully which men you follow down, alleys or tunnels.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just confident in my abilities.
So you continue following Simon. He started going down a tunnel which has a slight declination going through the wall until it gets to a point where you must be on the other side of the wall by now, but you still seem to be underground. Beyond these planks of wood, it seems that this wall was built around a rocky outcropping where this tunnel was dug down into, but it very quickly becomes mud. It's not just like a rock tunnel. As he's continuing down, it gets darker and darker until it is pitch black. There is no light.
Can I...
Thinking about it, I think everyone should be fine. You're either able to see in the dark or able to follow closely.
Yeah, I've got dark vision.
Yeah.
You're able to see or follow closely with someone who can. Continue through the tunnel for another 10 minutes or so, and then he stops abruptly, turns, and notices the lot of you following him down the tunnel.
We're just making sure you get home okay.
You're a weird-looking mole.
Keep going.
Alright. I just need to get to the end of this tunnel and then I'll wake up. And he continues down the tunnel just for another minute more, and then he stops, leans against one side of the wall, and pushes, and the rock gives way. It slides and scrapes along the ground, and this flood of light fills the corridor. You see that the tunnel does continue onwards, but he's opened a secret door to the side. You see that it's lit by 3 large braziers. It's a massive circular room. There's a set of stairs exiting opposite this secret stone door, and he staggers inside. Anyone following up to look inside sees that it looks to be some sort of temple or shrine.
Amy, after you.
I go in even more enthusiastically now I see it's like a temple shrine thing.
Alright. Would you like to make a religion check to see if you can recognize any of the iconography around?
Like far again, I think. Yeah, far again.
A lot of the depictions are old. These are not things that you are intimately familiar with. There's forms and figures striking very exaggerated poses, lots of muscular figures on fresco paintings. There's a woman holding an orc's head in her hand, and you can see by the way that she's flexing her arm that she's able to lift this orc clean off the ground, although the bottom part of it is cut off, and so you can't see what's happening there. There's someone with wings on their back with 2 large blades striking into the side of someone's neck. This painting, the person who's getting stabbed, you just see the back of their head, and so it's not clear what's going on, but they seem to have pointy ears and purple skin. There's a lot of fire depicted in the skies, a lot of blood being splashed around on these paintings, and there's also a blank spot where the painting seems to have stopped, as if someone was going to finish it later and never did. Simon is stood in the middle of this large circular room. There are pillars behind each of the braziers. He stands in the center of this room, claps his hands together, and then seems to realize, takes his amulet out, clasps it in his hands. Wisno! And as he says that, there's this blast of air that emanates from around him. Then he stands up a little straighter. He seems a little slimmer. And he rolls his shoulders and they crack as he does so. Oh, much better. Then he turns to face you at the doorway. Who are you?
I'm Amy, nice to meet you again.
Again. I'm
Simon, right?
sorry. Yes. You've heard of me then?
You stumbled into the Rising Sun Tavern, seemingly drunk and injured. We followed you down here to make sure you got home okay.
We saved your life.
I came down a rabbit hole.
Thank you. I have no recollection of this. What I do have a recollection of, though, there's a friend of mine. He's hurt. I need to go and find him. Thank you very much for looking after me. I will go and have a look for my friend now.
Is this
safe journey.
Murka that you're looking for?
Yes, you know him.
Bits and pieces, kind of here and there, but that's who you were looking for, right?
Yes. Yes, Murka and I, we met up a while ago. We were investigating a disturbance further north. I'm glad I managed to get back here.
You confessed all this to us when you were drunk in the tavern. You also promised us paid work to help you find him.
Well, it'll be work to get the pay, certainly.
Well, that's okay. I can do that. I can't speak for the others here.
This place is special. This is where I come to collect my thoughts and communicate with my gods. This is also a place where I can very quickly sober up if the need arises. If any of you... Pardon?
Handy.
Yes. If any of you do find yourselves intoxicated with any sorts of poisons, just come and see me. I'll be able to sort that out for you.
What is this place?
This is a shrine to the Taihun.
What do I know? I mean, I guess I know quite a lot about that. It's like the main.
You'll know that the Taihun is a major religion. The details change from place to place, but for the most part, it's 10 beings that grant power to people. They're supposed to look after and guide people, but allow them to just get on with life as they see fit, which is why evil is allowed to exist.
I start to walk around the walls looking at the paintings because they're sparking off things to me, and I'm going to ask him, what are these paintings? Who did these, and why is it unfinished?
I was like that when I got here. I imagine it's some ancient mural. I know that that's supposed to be a demon. That's supposed to be an angel. I think that's someone trying to crush an orc head in her hands. I don't know what it all means.
Do you know? You don't know anything? Do you know the demon's name?
Yes, my brother told me. He's got a nicer job than I. He told me that the demon's name was Boog. Bal.
Can I cut in and say, I'm going to pronounce it myself. Begazul?
Begazul! That's the one! Yeah, Begazul. Some demon thing. I don't know. He hasn't turned up, so it's not a problem for me.
You're an interesting man, Simon. I maybe misread you.
Well, thank you. I find it difficult to get through some days, is all. It's, the occasional pick-me-up.
Just one or two or three pick-me-ups.
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
Until you face plant on the floor of the bar.
It's the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I must have wandered all night. I need to get a horse. You don't have a horse, do you?
No.
Of course you wouldn't. Right, okay, I need to get back to town. I need to get a horse. I need to get supplies. I need to get going. I need to go and find this Merker. He's an important guy. I just can't remember why. But he was there with me. There was things. Don't travel north, by the way. It's getting very dangerous.
Why?
Horse. I need a horse. Why?
What's in the north?
Well, goblins have started attacking more. They're starting to reach the farmsteads now. As well as stealing supplies, they're also starting to take prisoners, thinking that eventually we're going to start giving them money and food in return for them.
Goblins.
What happened to Merca?
The goblins wasn't what happened to Merca, no. What happened to Merca was something far worse.
Why?
This sounds nuts. The trees. The trees have started getting up and moving.
In which area?
Near the Citadel. A while ago, a few months now, I sent some people there to go and get some treasure. I thought it was abandoned, there was just some gold, and there was also bits of... He reaches around. I don't have it on me. He touches his cheek. Damn. I did have a crystal. It's one of those green things, used in magic. This Citadel had some of it. I figured we could get some of the lost treasure in there, find some of this crystal, sell it, make a bit of a profit. I could do with a bit more money. There's not much of a church presence in Summergleam, and ale's getting pretty expensive.
It sounds like the Citadel has come to some sort of undoing, and it sounds like something has happened there.
I started hearing a few people in town talking about it, so I went to go and see for myself. The roof is just gone. Something large just rent the entire thing asunder. Whatever was in there is gone now. Or if it's not gone, buried.
Who has the power to control the trees?
I don't know. Druids, maybe? But they're nasty. This isn't like anything I've seen before. This is sharp branches and just tangly vines with thorns on, just moving, trying to grab you. And it's for yards. I'd venture even a mile.
How far is the Citadel from here?
About 3 days travel. I was planning on riding overnight and making it in 2.
By yourself.
Well, I don't exactly have an army.
Do you have skills? Do you use magic, or do you have a sword? Do you...
Do you have anything?
like a chubby priest, right?
I've got a club.
Is it supposed to be an army of trees?
There's a lot of them, yeah. I'm not going there to fight an army of trees. I'm there to go and find Merca and get out of there.
Well, you're not going to get anywhere if there's an army of trees.
Yeah, I'd say you need maybe 4 more people with different abilities, and
especially a druid that, yeah.
You need to have 2 elves, definitely.
Yeah.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More would be better, but...
Maybe a tiefling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I suppose a human as well. I mean,
yeah.
Token, you've got to let them join in.
Mm-hmm.
In case something bad happens.
What if something bad happened to you and you succumb to something horrible? You would be left there to die. Whereas if you had 4 companions to help you, you may end up coming back alive.
Companions who are willing to work for a small, moderate fee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say a share of whatever we find there. I mean, these people, not us in particular, but whoever you choose.
I did promise a share to the people I sent last time. If they're still alive...
Well, we can deal with them. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure we can come to an agreement is what I meant to say.
If there's as much of this crystal as I seem to remember there being, buried or not, that stuff is worth a fortune. I will happily split that with you. He reaches to his hip, pulls out a flask, undoes it, takes a swig. Now, we are going to need horses, supplies, and I need some more booze. This is going to be a long trip.
Well, I think you need to supply us with the money to get all of that.
That's a good point.
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything.
Why don't we not have alcohol? That will cut the costs massively, and it will help you be closer to your gods along the way, which will possibly provide further divine help when we get there.
I put my hand over his flask. Like, I'll take that.
You can get it back later on.
Probably empty, but...
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, please, Laura.
Oh.
Right, so that is 2 d20s, correct? And I take the higher?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. That's new. 19.
19. He begrudgingly hands you over the flask. And as you take it, he then sneakily puts his hand to another flask, undoes the lid. Hands it over.
Can I try them? Is anything good?
Yeah, the flasks seem to have a very high quality whiskey inside. From the smell.
Nice. Perfect. Pop that in my pockets.
Right. He will lead you back to town. Back through the tunnel so that you can get there and get some supplies. While you guys are gearing up for supplies, you'll have the opportunity to overhear various things while you're in the market, and just people shouting things out. Anakis, you hear word that a town not too far away, Besal on the sea, it's less of a town and more of a village. It's one of the villages that supplies fish to Sommergleam.
Yeah.
It had a druid sent from the Order dealing with a ghost problem, and they were told to leave it and head north because something's gone wrong. And the townspeople, the villagers to the south, are still rather distraught because they've still got a ghost problem. Airden, you overhear that there are people roaming around taking other mercenary contracts, dealing with goblins and the like, earning a bit of money. One of them has eyes like fire and wields the powers of a demon to thwart his foes.
Ooh. Okay, well, he's going on my list.
He's been seen mostly at night. You can tell by the trail of smoke behind him and the flash of fire in his eyes.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Sounds like someone I want to stab.
Stabby, stabby, stabby!
Eden?
Yeah.
You pick up more information about Merca and the Edels. You overhear news that the Edels have set forth a large military force, that they are moving to try and recover Merca, who's apparently missing. A conflicting rumour that you hear is that Merca sent the army, and that he's in Tharansari now.
Alright.
And the army's to go and retrieve a weapon that the elves are going to use against Sommergleam. Amy? While supplies are being bought, horses are being reined in, and everyone else is eavesdropping on strangers, like the polite, nice people that they are, you have a look around and you see all these people moving about. These people going on with their lives, and for a moment, they slow down, and that moment stretches on longer and longer until they stop entirely. One person in the crowd then quickly turns their head and locks their eyes with yours. You find that you are unable to move.
Cool.
With just a blink, their face is inches from your own. They are breathing heavily on your face. And their skin starts to droop as if melting, but it never comes completely off. It's just this constant flow as their skin is shifting and moving. And then their eye gets brought closer and closer to yours until now all you can see is their eye. The eye blinks, and when it opens up again, you see this burst of flame and this large green tower, looks like it's made of crystal, looming closer and closer towards you. And you hear, "Stop the army."
Okay.
You blink again, and everyone is moving around, sound has returned, people are walking around as normal.
Okay.
Cool.
So, where is the Citadel in comparison to all of these locations?
I have physical copies of maps. I need to digitize them, really.
Okay.
But I will make sure that happens for next session.
Mhm.
But we have Sommergleam here, and the Citadel is here. I'm not sure if I should be doing that the other way around for you guys. I'll get the map.
Well, a little bit to the north.
East?
Yeah, to the...
Yeah, so here's Sommergleam, and the Citadel is here. There's a small X.
Northwest.
Yes.
And
Yes,
where's
northwest
Kerry?
is where the Citadel is. The Elven City is the other side, so it's kind of like a triangle between Sommergleam and the Elven City. So the
And
elves are apparently moving towards it.
Like 3 days walking travel from Sommergleam to the Citadel?
Yes. From Sommergleam to Tharansari, that's a 7-day journey.
Where's Tharansari?
Tharansari is far to the west, south slightly.
Okay, so further. Okay, from Sommergleam.
Yeah.
You see where this mercenary you talked about, who may or may not be a demon, whereabouts was he? Was he just to the north? Because if he's taking on jobs killing goblins, and they're to the north.
Yeah, the goblin activities picked up around the Citadel.
Oh, okay, awesome. Cool.
So with the exception of the ghost situation to the south and
So where?
the Elven City to the west, everything's happening around the Citadel.
So how far south is Burso on the sea?
Basso is less than a day's journey.
Oh, so is it closer than Tharansari?
Yes, way
Right.
closer.
Yeah.
Do I recognise the crystal green tower thing at all? Or is it just like a... I don't recognise it as something specific.
You can give me a history or an arcana skill check.
Well, plus 0, so... 11.
On which one? Religion or arcana?
Religion or arcana or history or arcana?
Religion or arcana.
Sorry.
No, you're right. It was history and arcana, not religion.
Okay. Let's go.
It's because you're a paladin. It's confusing me.
Let's go. Arcana.
And the result was it 12?
11.
You recognize it. This is one of those crystal monoliths that pop up around the world. They are usually sought after for their power. They have spells inside them that wizards seek. You can also chip bits off them, and they act as kind of like a mini spell book / spell scroll, depending on how big the chunk is. They can also be used by wizards to help cast spells, certain spells that call for crystals and diamonds and rubies and things. This is like a catch-all material component.
Cool. Okay. So, get our supplies?
Yep.
Was he going to supply us with funds to buy the supplies?
So all the supplies are procured by Simon. He's hastily packing them onto a wagon that he's also managed to acquire. He's got 2 horses, one of which is hooked up to the wagon, the other one just walking alongside, and he's quickly walking them towards the gate and ushering you all to get onto the wagon.
Sure.
Get on the wagon?
Yep.
Good. Right.
Is there a nicer place to sit on the wagon? Kind of, what else is on the wagon?
There's quite a few sacks on the wagon and 1 wooden box.
I'll take the wooden box. Sounds cleaner than the sacks.
And then there's also a folded up sort of tarp. There's a heavy sackcloth thing that looks like it'll be able to spread over the entire wagon, but not enough to act as a tent, so it's not a covered wagon.
Okay.
Everyone's getting on the wagon?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As he rides out through the town gates, you hear a shout from the street rising above the general din, and it's those 2 gentlemen, the kindly folk from the tavern, that we're going to take you to a nice bar where they play darts. They're shouting after Simon, yelling his name and saying, "Bring that back here!"
I calmly load my crossbow and just... I don't do anything with it. I don't fire it. I just point it in their general direction and let them see.
So everything is strapped down?
Yep, everyone's in the wagons, secure. Like, there's nothing keeping the sacks and crate from being lifted up, but they're heavy enough that they're not jostling around.
Perfect. Can I use beast speech to talk to the horses and tell them to run as fast as they can for their side?
I also cause the ground underneath them to tremor.
And I'll tell everyone else to hold on.
All right, give me a charisma. Give me a charisma-based animal handling. So if you're proficient in animal handling, then add your proficiency. But you use your charisma modifier instead of, I think, wisdom is the usual animal handling.
Do I use that for my invocations?
Pardon?
I use that for my invocations?
Your the invocation in particular, what is it that you're doing? I thought it was just something that allowed you to talk to them.
Animals. Nope. It's speak with animals.
Speak with animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
So you're able to speak to them. This is just how much they listen to you.
I'm asking really nicely.
You are, yes.
I'm being polite about it.
Yeah. I'm giving them the reason there's stabby people trying to get us. If you could please haul ass, I would appreciate it. She has apples.
I'll start throwing apples at them.
We'll give you apples. if she's not stabbed, she will give you apples. Motivation. I don't know what is.
It is a very good, very clear motivation. I just want to see how well received it is by horses. They're not the smartest of creatures.
Not the dumbest either, though.
Very, very true. Very well trained. But yes, give me a charisma ability check, and if you've got animal handling, add your proficiency.
I do not have animal handling, so just a roll plus my charisma modifier. That's it.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. 13.
13. The horses whinny, rear up, and both start running at a gallop. The one not attached to the wagon slowing down slightly when it realizes it's pulling too far ahead because it doesn't have the big weight to be pulled alongside it. You see them disappearing away into the distance, and as they're getting further away, they stumble slightly as they push to the front of the crowd, possibly because the earth is tremoring underneath them. They get to the gate and brace themselves against the side of it and yell and shake their fists, but you're now so far away that you can't tell what it is that they're yelling.
Sorry.
Can I turn to Simon and say, so what is it that they want that we're taking?
Oh, those guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're under the impression that they're the previous owners of this wagon.
You sure that's it? Because can I see if he's lying?
Yeah, you can make an insight check if you want.
8.
You can tell there's
can I
more.
make a check as well?
You can tell there's more, but not any indication of what.
Right. Okay. Can I push then and say they were giving you a lot of funny looks at the bar, and they were going to apparently try and rob us. I feel like that it's not just the wagon. I feel like they knew you before.
A lot of people know me in Summergleam.
Okay, I think can I lean kind of forward next to him and just Simon, let's start this off. Let's start off on the the best way possible. We're all going to work together. We should be honest with each other, and we should keep no secrets. What's going on? How do they know you?
He keeps silent and stares ahead on the road.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste a spell slot. That's fine. Continue.
How far is it until we reach our destination?
It's a few miles. I've got a couple of days hard ride. That's why I got 2 horses.
Could I take a short rest whilst we're on here, just to regain my first level spell slot that I've used?
You can benefit from a short rest if you are so inclined. So a couple of hours will pass. It's starting to get a little heavier on the weather side. While it was clement in Summergleam, there are stronger and stronger winds blowing as you're getting further away from it. The area itself just seems to not like your presence. You're not seeing a lot in the way of wildlife, The rolling grasslands don't have a lot of trees. There's a lot of low shrubberies dotted about the landscape, and a lot of the hills make it difficult to see very far, especially when you're in the valleys. When you peek over them, there's still just a lot of stuff in your way. So it's difficult to see, but you do start to notice along the sides of the route that you're taking, which isn't a well-worn or tracked road, there's quite a few spears and broken bits of wood sort of sticking out the ground.
Is there anything else, like any like dead bodies or any blood or anything on the spears, or is it just they're just stuck in the ground?
There's blood on the spears, there's blood on the broken bits of wood as well, but no bodies.
Can we see anything? Like, can we see in the distance anything that might cause us harm, or... Yeah.
You can see a smokestack over the next hill further ahead, and the light is starting to dim. You reckon by the time you get to the top of the hill, it'll be about time to start thinking about, you know, what you're doing for the evening, pressing on, camping.
I guess, can we not? We wouldn't be at a long rest in this cart. We'd need to stop.
Yeah, we need to stop and like light a fire and make a little encampment.
Then I will turn to our dear friend Simon. Did you have any plans? You said you were going to ride all night, but I'm not sure that's going to be the best idea. We'll get to our destination exhausted and unable to face whatever's there. Perhaps we should think about pulling over soon and setting up a camp.
You might be right. We'll crest that hill and go down into the valley below. I realize it'll be dark by the time we get there, but there's a farmstead up ahead. We can stay there. The people are friendly.
Okay, sounds good.
Continuing on, you get to the top of the hill, and the sun dips down below the horizon. There's a flash of orange light, very small, like someone's just struck up a torch or something in the distance. It's further to the northwest. You also notice that as the sun dips over the horizon, in the distance, there's this faint greenish aura bleeding across the north skyline. It's not usual for that to be there. You don't get any sort of like lights in the sky in this part of the world. Down into the valley below, you see that there is a farmstead. There's 2 fields that look like they're being worked, and a large barn. There's a small farmhouse, and you see a few small figures moving about carrying buckets.
Buckets of...
That you can't see from this distance.
Water? Okay. Do I recognise the sky colours for any particular reason? Out there.
If you make a perception check, it'll be with disadvantage. It's dim light, even with your dark vision.
I say we just carry on to the farm.
Yeah. We could ask.
Sorry.
Oh dear. Could we ask Simon if he knows what the light is? Why it's green?
Yeah.
That's
Simon?
something that's recent. Don't know.
What?
Okay.
Any idea as to what might cause something like that?
Rampant magic. I don't know. Some sorcerer casting a spell. It's gone awry and turned the sky green.
Would it be in the direction of the citadel?
Oh yes.
It seemed that way, yeah.
Right, okay. Was there any talk of any sorcerers taking over the citadel as well as the goblins?
Nothing I've seen or heard.
Okay. Okay.
He continues down the hill. You get to the small farmhouse, and you see the small figures start for the door. And they slam it shut. Simon pulls up the cart next to the house, gets down, and knocks on the door. Is everyone waiting in the wagon?
I'll get down and stand with him.
I think I'll wait in the wagon. I'm not really you know.
I want to just investigate the outside area.
Okay. Okay. What would your passive perception was 13, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're wandering around the grounds, trying to see what you can see. Airden? Yeah, Airden. Is waiting on the wagon. Amy's going next to him. What about Eden?
I'm gonna stay on the wagon. I'm gonna be watching Amy and Simon go to the door. Can I send Enver with Anakis?
Yeah.
Just in case anything happens. You can come back and tell me.
All right. So, two of them wandering around the grounds. The door opens a crack, and Amy and Simon can see a small man, possibly a gnome or a halfling. He's got a large nose, scraggly beard. He's looking Simon and Amy up and down. What do you want?
I wait for Simon to answer.
Simon says, "It's me. Open the door." "How do I know it's you?" "Oh, I suppose I've got no way of proving that one way or the other, now do I? If I have proof, I could have stolen it from the real Simon. Open the door." "No." And he slams the door shut.
Oh.
Gonna knock on the door.
Sure. The door opens a crack again. He looks up and down and goes, "We don't want any."
We're looking for somewhere to stay the night. We were told that you were a friendly family of farm owners. May we stay here?
He then slams the door shut. You hear some squabbling happening inside the house, some hushed whispers. And then the door opens, the door slams shut. You get some more squabbling. Then the door is flung wide open. And you see that small man scurrying away into a distant room. And standing in the doorway, you now see a burly woman in her mid to late 40s. She's standing there with an apron, rolled up sleeves, and her hair tied back.
Awesome.
"Welcome to the house."
Thank you. I stick my hand out and say, "My name's Amy. What's your name?"
"Oh, my name's Isabella. Come and take a seat. We've got a fire going."
I motion to the others on the wagon, at least, to follow.
Sure, yeah, go in.
She wanders over to the fire pit, where she's got a pot of stew going. She stirs it round, pulls a small wooden bowl, and ladles some off and offers it to each of you. "We don't get an awful lot of visitors these days."
Oh, how come?
I look around and go, yeah, I can see why.
Is it increasing raids recently?
Have they raided here?
Oh, unfortunately. A few times they've tried.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's quite alright. Could get visitors every now and again anyway. Mostly this Simon fellow. Keeps darkening our doorways too often. It's good to see some new faces.
Excuse me, where are the other rooms? Where is the bedrooms?
We have a bed over in the corner there, behind the bookcase.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, that'll be fine.
I'm terribly sorry. That's going to be for me and my husband. You will be able to sleep on the floor or in the barn.
No, I will sleep back in the cart, I think.
Oh, you suit yourself, sir.
I think I just walk to the door. I've seen all I need to. I'm not staying in here.
While that's happening, can I use my divine sense to detect good and evil? Sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. Please.
Okay. You know that there is a celestial in the room, but nothing has been hallowed or unhallowed, and you don't detect any undead within 60 feet. If memory serves, it's the location of them. You know the location of any celestial, and you know the type, but not its identity. So yes, you get this strong welling in the pit of your stomach, like you've remembered a gut punch.
Right.
And looking around, you start to see your vision narrowing to a tunnel, and it's difficult to breathe. And you look at each person around the room, and you see them fade away until they are almost a blank slate of themselves. And you turn to each person, and the same thing happens to each person until you look at Simon. As you look at Simon, you see his form expand slightly and begin to glow with light. And you see these beams sort of break out and then disappear, like huge arcs of light breaking out and getting sucked back in. And then after a moment, that tightening in your chest disappears, your stomach settles, and your tunnel vision widens.
I gasp and just stare at Simon. Like, breathless.
He gives you a weird look, so I wonder why you stare at him. Gets back to his stew.
And none of us know this, I presume.
That's correct.
Okay.
Unless you have some way of detecting celestials, fiends, undead, and that sort of thing.
Not celestials. I don't think.
Hang on.
So, going on to the rest of the evening, this seems to be a safe place. Are people just sort of bunking down for the night and continuing on in the morning?
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm making I've got it all folded up, all the sacks, like a nice little kind of pillow and things, made it the nicest I can.
Is there, so I'll ask the lady of the house if there's anything they can set up to, like, pre-warning if the goblins decide to come or if someone else decides to come. Like an alarm system or something.
Well, shouldn't Stabby sleeping in the wagon or not sleeping in the wagon, shouldn't he be on guard?
Yeah, I don't really need to sleep because I'm an elf.
Yeah.
I just need to kind of, like,
You're outside anyway.
It's true.
You might as well be doing something useful.
If anyone wants to come out and ask me to stand watch, it's fine.
I'll go.
Alright. But yes, Isabella lets you know that there is nothing of the sort. They really only know if something's come to them when they're banging on the door.
Did I find anything outside?
When you were exploring outside, you found that there are a lot of scratches in the wood, about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. Small claw scratches, but they're all around the outside of the building.
Oh no, I'm not sure I'm happy about sleeping outside now. Well, I don't know this, I guess.
You committed.
I forgot any first level. Hang on. Oh, I ain't got anything. All I've got is detect magic, but that's not going to do anything, is it?
Might do. We're gonna sleep.
Could I speak?
So.
Oh, what about if? Oh, right. Okay, I'm gonna cast speak with animals. Hang on, but I don't know what the distance is. No distance, it's just you've got to speak to... So I can speak to beasts.
Mm-hmm.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters. So I think I probably have to be within a certain distance of an animal, I assume.
Yeah, so Nutkin and the two horses. Abby seems to have...
Hang on, I'm here, it's just my thing's telling me I've got low battery.
Ah.
I'm there. It's okay. Right, let me turn it around. There we go.
Yeah, so you've got Nutkin and the horses as nearby creatures. Oh, gone again.
I'm back. Sorry, I'm here.
And you're back in the room. Yeah, so you've got Nutkin and the horses.
The horses that were on the cart, that's it, isn't it? They won't know.
Is that going to be the name of the spin-off that we eventually do? Nutkin and the Horses?
I hope so. No, there's no point. That's all I've got. I've got detect. Oh, it's not prepared. That's all I've got. Speak with animals, and that's not going to get us very far.
All right.
Second. I've not got anything at second. No. Nope.
Isabella quizzes you all on where you're going, where you've come from, any interesting stories from your travels that you've had. It's like Alfred, but not.
Oh, brilliant.
And Ralfred doesn't like people. He just sits in a corner in a rocking chair, staring at Simon and rocking back and forth with a foul expression on his face before retiring to bed.
Can I ask why Ralfred doesn't like Simon? Especially after my recent discovery, I would probably be like, well, why wouldn't people like him?
Ralfred doesn't speak to any of you and retires to bed. Isabella, when he's gone to bed, however, will confide that he doesn't really like a lot of people. Simon just turns up an awful lot.
Can I talk to her about him, like kind of away from where Simon could hear? And ask her, like, does he cause like trouble or anything? Is he a problem? Or
he has his demons.
Like, other than the alcohol? So we know about that one?
The alcohol's the main one, certainly. He often loses people, which is a shame, since he's a kind soul at heart. I do my best to try and look after him whenever he's near, but he has this tendency to find trouble. It finds him. Either way, the people close to him don't last very long.
That's very sad. But I take her hands in mine and say, bless you for caring for him. I believe that caring for a soul like Simon's will one day bring you great divine favour in return.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm a little confused, but thank you.
I think he's a special soul.
That he is. He tends to the spiritual needs of the people over in Sommergleam.
Yes, that's why I met him.
Yes. I'm going to retire to bed myself. Feel free to keep anywhere on the floor or in the chairs. That's fine. The hayloft has some straw in it. You'll be able to use that as extra bedding if you see fit. But I do ask, if you bring it into the house, please do clean up after yourselves in the morning.
Of course. I sat out bed for the night.
Right. Okay, so Eden and Airden, you guys were outside. Eden, you went out to tell Airden, can you stand watch for a bit? Are you also going to have a watch shift with him? because while he's in a trance for 4 hours, he will be oblivious to his surroundings for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's taking first?
I don't know. I don't know where you are because I've got the cart. It's kind of laid out for me. I've made it my own little place to kind of lie. You could have a walk around, stand by the cart. I don't know.
I will sleep here on my own.
Yeah.
Get out of the cart, and then it's your watch, and then it's my cart.
Me as a player wants to be like, yeah, but me as a character, it's just, no, that's not happening. I've made it, I don't want to move, there's no reason to move, I don't really know you that well, I'm quite happy, I can see everything from here.
So you're not taking a watch?
I'll watch from here. I can see this area in front of me. If I hear anything behind me, I will look behind me. I don't see any reason for alarm.
This is just to be a smartass, but can I use, just for fun, can I use my disguise self, and can I turn myself into Airden? And then go,
yeah.
And then I'm gonna walk off.
Before you walk off, so you transformed, you've looked just like him and lampooned him. Just then, I would like the two of you to tell me your passive perceptions. I'll let you know what you see in here.
Mine's decent, 14.
What was yours, Laura?
13.
13. The two of you, looking at the other person, see dark shapes move behind the other.
Oh, we don't stay here tonight.
Oh, okay. Right,
Okay.
now I see cause for alarm. I think I stand up to get a better look, I guess. Maybe draw my rapier.
Okay. I'm gonna drop my disguise. Yeah. Do you ready spells or?
So what we'll do now is we'll all go into an initiative order. At the moment, Amy and Anakis are entirely unaware of what's happening. You guys are inside.
Right now. Should we stay inside?
Can I tell Enver to go and get the others?
Can I ask them why there's claw marks around the outside of the building?
You can do when it gets down to your turn, Abby.
Okay.
Laura,
Oh no!
you never said specifically that you called Enver back from Anakis' shoulders. However, I think when you all went inside, it seems reasonable that you would have. So yes, you'll have Enver with you. So you want to send Enver to go inside and warn everyone.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, so I've rolled my initiative. What was everyone else's initiative scores?
1.
5.
4.
11. And I get plus nothing to that. So.
Try to get minus. Oh god.
I'm looking through my character sheets, like, do I have any area of effect spells? Anything to look things at once?
Nothing.
All right.
Oh, that's a lot of dice rolls right there. That's
Yeah.
4! No!
Okay. Daniel, Laura, could you tell me what your armor classes are?
Okay.
Don't give it anything away.
15.
Laura, what was yours, sorry?
12.
12.
That is not a good 12. I don't think. Ooh, 12.
Okay, so as the two of you become more aware of the fact that there are things moving around in the darkness, just as you turn to take a closer look, one of the creatures leaps into the air with a and lands on top of you, stabs a small spear into the side of you and drags it down as it drops down to the floor in front of you. It's a small goblin. It's about 3 feet tall and just seems to be a bundle of green anger and teeth. As it stabs it to your side and drags it down, fortunately, Daniel, you take 4 points of damage. Eden gets another 2 of these shapes running up behind her, one of them clipping the side of her as it runs by, and then stands in front pointing its spear, and the other one trying to leap. Eden manages to duck down, throw this thing down to the ground, and just as she's about to try and counter-strike, it lunges its spear upwards, stabbing into her thigh. You take 7 points of damage. And it is now Kerry. Amy is going to potentially be able to hear the ruckus outside. What is your passive perception?
10.
10. In which case, she does not notice the ruckus outside.
Okay.
So you're just having a nice conversation with Isabella as she's sort of walked towards the side of the room where some of her tapestries are.
Very good. I just chat to her. There's nothing I could like.
Yep.
Wait.
Yep.
And Ember's gotta come on, right?
So Daniel, it is your turn.
Okay. So as a Bloodhunter class, I get cool stuff called Crimson Rite, where I can imbue my weapons. So I imbue my weapons with the Rite of Flame. So I add 1d4 fire damage onto any of my attacks. But I've got to take my character level in damage and lower my max HP the same. So I am on even less health now.
I've just seen in the chat a little something which I realise we haven't addressed, which might be useful for people to know. Character class and level.
Oh yeah.
So yes, we're all level 3. But yeah, Daniel's a Bloodhunter.
Which is not strictly like one of the normal classes, but we allowed it because it's a pretty well written out class.
Yeah. Laura is playing a Warlock. Kerry is a Paladin. And Abigail is a Druid. Just a nice round mix. Kind of?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Mine's basically like a fighter who can also do a couple of spells. And it's all got a kind of gothic kind of feel to it, but it's really just a fighter.
Mine's just like loves the earth. Pretty much. Forest. She lives for the forests. She's a bit of a hippie. I was going to do a Welsh accent. I might do one next week, but we'll see. Drew has heard my Welsh accent. It's shocking.
It's not bad.
Oh well. We'll see you next week.
So now I've done Crimson Rite, I can now make my attack. That was just a bonus action.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, so what do I see? What's the situation? There's loads of them. I mean, is it just one that is attacking us just now?
So there's one... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No?
Oh, sorry, I thought Laura was talking. But, yeah.
Oh, sorry, right, I completely missed that. I must be reading my character sheet.
Sorry, so yeah, there are 3. One leapt at you, the other 2 went to attack Laura. There are 3 that you're aware of.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm kind of more worried about myself. So, the one that attacked me, how far away is it?
It's right in front of you.
Right, yeah, sure. I just attack it with my rapier, which is... Oh, there's 21 hit.
Oh!
A 21 definitely hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go high again, that bad boy's dead.
And that's 12. 12 damage. Oh, sorry, 12 normal damage and 3 fire damage.
Nice. So, drawing your rapier, running it along... Where do you want to cut? Do you want it to run along your arm, your hand, or...?
I think probably, yeah, that's what he would do. That he's used to it. It makes sense just because it's there and it's easy. It's all part of in one fluid motion. You know, as he draws his sword, casts the right as he's about to strike, type thing.
Nice. So I'm imagining basically running along the arm, cutting just beneath the skin, drawing some blood, and as you're speeding up, some of that blood igniting on the end of the blade, and you slash it through the goblin. You've managed to kill that goblin in one strike.
Sweet.
Slicing across his chest, and he lets out another scream. As he collapses to the ground, spear clattering, and the spear rolls a little, the light of the flame causing a light burst, a bloom that allows you to see a little more in the dark than your dark vision would normally allow. Creeping around behind the wagon, another couple of goblins that have yet to strike.
Okay.
Alright, I think that might be Laura's turn now.
Right. I am going to do Firebolt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good opening gambit.
Wow. Right. So,
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit there. I think it's the connection.
Better?
I think so, yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. So hurl fire at a creature within range, or attack, hit, target takes 1d10 fire damage. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Hit.
Terribly sorry, your audio kept breaking up there. What was it that you got?
Sorry, 19 to hit.
19? Yes, and 19 definitely hits.
Perfect. What bonuses do I get to my attack rolls?
With spell attacks, it is your proficiency bonus and your spell casting stat modifier, which for warlocks I believe is charisma?
Yes. Okay. 13 damage.
Nice. Sorry, for your attack roll you add your proficiency. For damage, for spells, you don't add any modifiers at all.
No modifiers.
No modifiers. There is a warlock invocation, or some warlock ability anyway, that allows you to add your charisma modifier.
It's on Eldritch Blast. Should have taken that in hindsight. All right, 8 damage then.
Okay, so that's 8 damage. Right, and you've got 2 of them in front of you. I suppose it's much of a muchness, whichever one you go for.
The one that stabbed me in the leg. Him first.
Okay. So the one that stabbed you in the leg, you reach your hand up, wrench it through the air, and as you scrape your fingers along the air and feel the wind rush through them, it ignites and you hurl this ball of fire down at this creature. It smacks him in the face, burns along his eye, and he quickly brings his hand up to cover it, retching and pulling at himself. It's obviously hurt an awful lot, but he's not dead. Anything else that you want to do? Any moving bonus actions you might have out? No. All right. As he quickly recovers, pulls his hand away from his eye, and you see that his hand is burning as well as his face. He quickly pulls the spear with his other hand and whips it around his head, striking across your chest, drawing some blood. He's managed to do 3 points of damage. The one next to him lets out a yell, launches himself into the air, and tries to stab down at you with the spear. But as you see him coming up, you're able to quickly bring your hands around, grab him by the neck and the arm, and slam him down into the ground the other side of you. His attack has failed. Airden, you see these other two creatures come around the back of the wagon, the goblins brandishing big, wide smiles, and one of them is there holding a stick with other bits of wood sort of crisscrossed and tied with twine. And he's holding it and thrusting it forward, and little bits of it dangling down are rattling as he's pushing it. And he's going...
I can kill you.
I would like you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh god, okay. This is going to be good because it's a 19 plus, so that's 21.
Brilliant. You can feel some sort of otherworldliness going on. As he's chanting, his voice becomes melodic, and it's got this echoing cadence to it that really penetrates through to you. You feel the chill of the cold air more than you had before. Oh. You are realizing that things are surrounding you. And for a moment, there's this flicker of maybe it's time to be scared. And then you realize these are goblins. These are like 3 feet tall. You've just sliced one of them up. There is no way that you're going to be scared of one of these small things.
Okay.
And so the one next to the little Juju mage decides to charge towards you and thrust with a spear. You deftly swinging your rapier down and riposting, sending him to the side, and he stumbles slightly as he does so. This presents a rather... I've just realised that we missed out Abigail entirely.
I was going to say, when is it my turn? I feel like everyone said 2 goes.
Oh my god, just the number 1 sitting next to the 17, I missed it. I feel terrible, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I was just thinking, that'll make noise for the people inside, and then I realised that Abigail's inside and hasn't done anything. Abigail, before this extra bit of fighting happens...
How many... do I hear... I obviously hear what's going on outside. So, I run outside. How many goblins... So I'm at the door. Where are the goblins? In my vicinity. I'm inch. Where are they?
You'll see that they are surrounding Airden and Eden.
Okay, how many is there?
From what you can see, there are 2.
Alright, okay.
At the moment.
So I'm going to... no, I'm not going to cast anything. I'm going to channel my primal savagery and make a run for the one that is near... Which one's closest?
So the 2 that you can see are just around Laura. You see that there's a dead body at the feet of Airden. Sorry, I'm mixing and matching character and player names. At Erden's feet is a dead one. The other 2 haven't come around the corner yet.
I'm going to go for the one that's attacking Eden then. One of them that's attacking Eden.
Okay, there's one with a big scarred eye that he's screaming about, and another one that seems to be a lot healthier.
The healthier one.
The healthier one.
Yeah.
Alright.
So it is... They have to make... Oh, hang on. So I'm going to sharpen my fingernails, and it's a corrosive attack. I can only attack against one creature within 5 feet, so I'll get within 5 feet of it. And it's 1d10.
Is it an attack? Spell attack?
Yes. It's a cantrip.
Yes, but is it calling for an attack roll or?
Yeah, make a melee spell attack.
Yeah. So this will be the one where you add your proficiency and wisdom, I believe, for druids.
Mhm. Yeah. So that will be. Oh, well, it's a 19 naturally, so that's hit.
That is definitely a hit.
I mean, I can add my wisdom, which is like, what is it? I can't remember what it was. I can't remember, but that's hits. 5 points of damage. Don't think I get any plus. Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, just 1d10. 5 points of damage.
Nice. So as you charge over with the sharp nails and splash them to the air, this creature also gets burns applied to itself. As it tries to pat itself down, there's steam rising from its wounds that you just cast against it. And then it looks up and realizes now there's 2 big things. However, for the sake of ease of everything else, they just carry on as they were before. So they've gone and attacked Laura again, leapt at her, she's chucked it down to the ground like a wrestler. And so we move on from the goblins to Kerry. Amy will have noticed that Anakis has left the room, has opened the door, and now you can hear clearly the sounds of fighting outside. Simon has since passed out. He is asleep in a chair. So has Ralfred. There's just you and Isabella.
Okay, can I go outside?
Yeah.
Go running outside. So the 2 are still up that I can see.
So by the time you get out there, 2 more will have run around the wagon and are approaching Daniel, ready to stab and poke.
Okay, so there's a total of 4.
Yeah.
Are they within 20 feet of each other?
Yeah, they'll all be within 20 feet of each other.
All the goblins, right, okay. So I go outside and wanting to calm the situation down, I'm going to cast Sleep.
Ooh.
On the goblins. Ideally, all of them will pick a point, so the 20 feet to get all of them in.
Yeah, it's...
So I've got to roll 5d8.
Yep. And that's the number of hit points that falls asleep, if memory serves.
Yeah, so you start from the lowest current hit points, and then you go, once that one's asleep, you move on to the next one, and then the next
Just as a warning, this affects all the creatures in range. This would include Eden and Airden.
But I think because we're elves, magic can't put us to sleep.
That's a good point. Never mind.
Not that we'd all necessarily know that, and as you know, our different characters. But I was just thinking the same thing, thinking, wait a minute, that would catch up. But...
Yeah, that's actually a very good tactical decision there. To just send the elves in to do everything. If it gets out of hand, sleep.
Send the elves in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I'm kind of opposed to just cutting people up for the sake of it. So.
Yeah. Goblins, not people.
Well, goblins are people too to me.
Are they? Are they?
I mean, they're sentient. That's about it.
So I got 21 total points. So.
Right. Okay. So. 12 so yeah, one of them will be able to succumb entirely.
Okay.
Hold on. I've got some wounded ones here. 3 will be able to fall unconscious.
Cool.
Of the damage previously done.
So there's one left.
Yes. As you cast your hand out, throwing this fine dust into the air, which gets spread along on the winds, the goblins, quickly taking in a breath, collapse down to the ground unconscious with near immediacy. The only one not falling for it is one who sneezes. It's the one holding the small talisman in his hand in front of Airden.
Okay. Can I then... Have I got any movement left, or is that all my movement to get outside?
You'll definitely have more movement left. It's taken you 10 feet to get to the door.
Okay, I want to be within 30 feet of that one that's still up.
Okay. Yeah, you'll...
Alright, if I already am, then I'll stay where I am. But...
Yeah, you just need to step a few feet out of the door and you'll be
okay.
about there, 20, 30 feet.
That's all I can do.
Nice. Daniel.
Yeah, so there's just one left. The one with the little weird stick.
Yep.
Okay, I have a cantrip called Toll the Dead. One creature must make a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 damage. Necrotic damage. So I'm not sure what I rolled.
You don't roll anything. If it's a wisdom saving throw, I roll the die. I'm gonna get a 4, because of course I do. Your saving throw is so that's a 10 plus your...
I've got it as 11 because it's one of my elven spells, so it's intelligence. So I think the saving throw is 11, as far as I can tell.
The way you normally calculate it is I think it's 8 or 10 plus proficiency plus stat. So we'll say that it's 10 for the time being, and then we'll check it after. So
it fails anyway.
Yes. So he's failed. He takes a d8. Would you mind rolling the dice?
Oh, of course. 6.
6 damage. Could I ask for a reflex saving throw from yourself?
Oh. So is that just a 20?
Yes, d20 and then your dexterity modifier.
Oh, right.
If you're proficient in dexterity saving throws, then you add your proficiency as well.
Oh, this is great. So that's 16.
16. As you cast your spell, giving a brief whisper to the dark forces that imbue you with your power, you hear a faint whispering in the back of your mind, an acknowledgement from your patron. And as this spell spreads itself on the ethereal winds towards this creature, he holds up his talisman, looks around as if he can also hear this whispering.
Awesome.
And then he throws his talisman down to the ground. It sticks upright in the mud, and a shock of lightning bursts forth from it and strikes you.
Oh my god.
What was your total result, sorry?
16.
16. So you take half the damage. So you take 2 points of damage. As you manage to twist your body out the way of this lightning bolt just fast enough. So just a few extra branches of lightning spread out to touch you and give you a slight jolt just because you're close. But the rest of the bolt continues onwards and strikes the top of the farmhouse.
Oh.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I don't know if I can. No. Look menacingly at him.
Alright, Laura. Down to you.
Right. Okay. I'm going to pull out all the stops. Right, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke, and that's at 2nd level. Mm-hmm. And it is, you point your finger, and the creature that is damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. And if you're using a higher spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the damage is increased by 1d10 for each slot above 1st. So it would be 3d10 damage.
Okay.
Yes.
So Hellish Rebuke is a reaction normally, and so would be cast not on your turn, but during someone else's turn when they damage you.
Okay.
And it is against the creature that did you some damage. However, since some of this stuff is still new, I will allow you to sort of retroactively make that attack against one of the goblins that's now currently asleep.
Okay, so you get an action, reaction, and a move?
Yes.
Sorry, okay, I apologize. That's
it's quite alright.
Still learning 5th. I was unaware, or else I wouldn't have done that. Sorry.
But I'll allow you to retroactively do that against the goblin there.
Okay. So then, you make a dexterity saving throw for the goblin?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get a new d20. That was a 3. You know what? This dice has consistently rolled low for me for quite a number of weeks now. I'm starting to get suspicious. Okay, so 2d10 fire damage. Would you mind rolling those 2d10?
3.
Yeah, it's 3d10 at level 3.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is.
I have it too.
17. If that doesn't burn it to a crisp, then...
Yeah.
He did.
So yeah, this goblin, just as it's about to collapse to the ground asleep, you manage to quickly throw your hands at it, and this wave of hot force flows from you into this creature and burns it up from the inside. You notice that these cinders seem to get sucked into its nose and burst out of it. Tiny little jets of flame through its skin, and then it collapses down to the ground with smoke billowing out from it.
Next.
That's one way to put down a goblin. So you still have, and you're still going to have your entire movement, your action, and if it's available to you, a bonus action.
No, this time I actually think that's all I have.
Okay, that's absolutely fine.
Is that not all of them? I thought the rest of them were asleep.
This is against one that was asleep.
Right.
We're just sort of like retroactively saying.
Right. Yeah. Got right.
Yeah.
It should have been done before. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still the priest seeming one standing up. Abigail.
I would like to... How far is the other one from me?
They'll be about 20-25 feet away.
Okay, in that case then, I would like to cast Ice Knife at the remaining goblin, please. Hi. So, let me just read it first. So, I would like... Can I cast it at second level? Yeah. When you cast this using a spell slot of second or higher, the cold damage increases by 1d6. Okay, so we create a shard of make a ranged spell attack against the target. Okay. So. Come on, baby. 15.
15. That's a hit.
It takes 1d10 piercing damage and then plus 1d6, so I'm going to do it at second level. So the target and yeah. Oh, hang on. It must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Right. Ignore me, sorry, I've never used it before, so I don't know what I'm doing with it. Right.
It's been a while since I've used it.
Oh god. 6.
6 damage.
Oh, hang on.
If memory serves, it's isn't it a spell attack to strike the initial target, and then it's everyone in range.
Yeah, and then it
explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then on the... Hang on. So on the hit, it's 1d10 plus the 1d6, and then on the... Oh no, that's the dex save, sorry, no.
Yeah, the 1d6 is all that the dex save people take.
Yeah, so 6 points of damage.
Airden will also need to make this dexterity saving throw. He is also
Oh,
within 5
no!
feet.
I'm pretty good at dexterity.
13.
Oh dear, that's not good. 7.
Oh! I'm sorry! Please tell me you're not, like, down.
No, I think I'll be alright. Maybe.
So, with the d6 damage, how much was that?
So it was 2 on the d6 and 4 on the d10. So it was 6 points.
6 altogether, okay.
So it's just the 2 that you'll be taking, Daniel.
Oh right, oh that's fine.
Yeah, because
okay, I can heal you wounds shortly. It's fine, don't worry.
Ah, it's nothing. It's a scratch.
So, Anakis quickly takes a knee, plunges her hands down into the dirt of the ground, and pulls them up. The moisture that she got from the mud, she then flings towards this goblin, and as it flies towards it, they all coalesce, crystallize, and stab into it, right in the middle of its chest. It looks down at this icicle, looks up, and then starts to collapse backwards as the shard explodes, stabbing it further inside its chest, but also some of the shards flying out and getting Airden. Fortunately, cutting him up a little bit, but not too much.
It's fine, it's fine.
The goblin collapses down to the ground and rolls its eyes as it turns its head to try and look at Anakis, but it fails to do so. It does not have the strength before it succumbs to its wounds. You hear more screaming and yelling from goblins in the distance,
Oh, God.
but you hear them moving away.
Oh.
We'll come out of initiative order. The roof of the farmhouse is currently aflame.
I'm also going to point out that sleep only lasts for a minute, so we should decide what we're doing with these guys.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
I take out my rapier and move towards the sleeping bodies of the goblins.
I put my hand out. Is killing them the best option here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attack the one nearest me.
Amy, they will kill you otherwise.
I turn my back and don't watch.
You slaughter the goblins. As Amy turns around, she sees that the roof of the farmhouse has indeed caught fire from that lightning blast.
Well,
I don't have anything to deal with fire. I don't have like water or something.
I can create water, but it's not prepared.
There's a small well
Right,
next to the farmhouse.
Oh, no, I haven't got that cantrip. Why?
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do. Just start. I'll just go on.
I can climb up as a beast and carry some water and put it out. I can climb up the thing. I can do a spider climb.
ooh. Okay.
If we can get some buckets.
So where is the water? Sorry, it's in a well.
Is it on the top?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unless I... Okay.
There's also some stew on the fire.
What?
Right, I'm gonna run in and tell people to get out of the house. While we're faffing around trying to put the fire out.
How? Yeah, okay, so we're just gonna get some buckets of water. I'm gonna... What's the best... I don't... what will I have seen? What animal will I have seen? Oh, nothing that can climb up with it and put it in.
Can you just start throwing water up there? Like,
yeah.
Are we able to throw it high enough?
The roof is 8 feet tall. There isn't a second story to this.
Yeah, just throw it on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's start throwing water.
Can I? How many buckets is there?
There are 2 buckets.
Can I have one of the buckets?
Sure.
Can I take one of the buckets? Fill it with water, and I just sit down next to the cart and just use the water to start cleaning the blood out of my cloak.
What are you doing? I walk over and snatch it away from him.
That's
There
rude.
are people in need.
I take the
at least it's
bucket.
not much of it to burn.
I take the bucket from him.
I would like to point out that to further compound this, sending the buckets were empty, so sending the bucket down into the well, pulling the water back up, takes about 30 seconds if you're quick.
Yep.
So that's one bucket filled up, which Amy then takes and chucks on top of the house, while a second bucket is going down so she can't get more water, while Airden is filling his bucket up, pulling it back up, taking the bucket and then going to the wagon to clean the blood off.
Yeah.
Everyone is quickly roused and brought outside. Simon, not quite sure what's going on, but staggers outside. Ralfred coming out in a dressing gown and some wooden clogs. As they watch over the next few minutes, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to be able to get the fire out. They see the damage that it's already done to the roof. You've managed to successfully save the house, but they're still going to need to enact some repairs. Isabella lets you know that they don't have a lot of money, and wood is getting more difficult to come by, especially with what they've been hearing from some of the farms further north, towards where you're heading with the Citadel. The trees are dying there. At that... Oh, sorry,
Go on.
no, go on.
No, I was going to say, does anyone have mending? Like at the start. No? Okay. So we'll have to.
At that, Simon gestures for everyone to get back into the house, and when everyone is inside, which he insists on everyone going inside, he then closes the door, and you can see from the window that he is standing in front of the door with his arms folded, keeping a watch out, and looks like he is willing to do so for the rest of the evening.